Hey my brothers and sisters, this is Zatchel and welcome back to some more Wuthering Waves. Now with the recent release of version 2.7 of Wuthering Waves, a lot has been revealed, especially with the little character we know who is Abby, or Abraxas. Now this isn't our first time hearing this name. Actually, when we first give Abby his name, he himself says the same thing Leviathan says, which is Abra and Abraxas, and then says this should be my name, which we can see right here.
Abby, Abra, Abraxas? What's wrong? What are you muttering about? Abra... what? Sounds like you're reading a spell. I don't know, but I just have this feeling that this is what my name should be. Okay, ready? Abby. I like the sound of that. That's my name.
Now again, that was all the way back at the beginning of the game, and even Chixia's comment on how it sounds like you're casting a magical spell actually is quite funny because of what the name relates to. But then also, I believe Abby knows a lot more memories than he's leading on, because even when we were talking about, going missing, he himself says, I still got some kinks to work out before I'm in my super Echo Abby form. Which further reveals he knows he has more capabilities that he just can't show us yet, but he is able to do. And then lastly, with this scene with Leviathan again, she calls him out, and the face he makes first isn't a face of confusion, it's a face of, I'm going to get caught. Like his first instinct when she said his real name was, oh no, why are you saying that? And then once Rover actually looks at him, then he proceeds to shake his head, no, I have no idea what's going on, as if he's about to get caught in a lie. And furthermore, if we take what Leviathan says as truth and we mix that with what Alto says at the end of the story, where he says,
Renacida, the land of echoes. If tacit discords can be manually converted into echoes and become tools to fight lament, then maybe the Threnodian might also be something we could transform. Heck, maybe even utilize.
And we know Rover has been around for a long time going through these cycles. Maybe the reason why we are playing through this specific cycle is because Abby, who used to be Abraxas, who was a Threnodian, decided to work alongside us, and now this gives us the best possible chance of actually changing things, now that we have a Threnodian working alongside us. And now while we don't know what kind of pact the past Rover and Abby had to where Abby just can't tell us what's going on, it would seem that we are currently utilizing a Threnodian in a sense. Now, we know that all the Threnodians are essentially the collective fears and inner turmoil of humanity condensed into a physical form. Now, Overthrax was the Threnodian of war. He was the physical manifestation of humanity's collective fears surrounding the concept of war. Even his name, Overthrax, would mean the birth of war. And then Leviathan was the embodiment of the collective fears of humanity's reliance on rigid control and misguided faith, specifically the fears of chaos and the desire for a powerful, unquestioned order. And the Leviathan itself perfectly symbolizes that powerful, chaotic, and untamed nature, manifesting as a destructive force that will try to manipulate and assimilate all others through their very own beliefs. So then what would Abraxas stand for? Now, like I said earlier, when Chixia makes a comment about it sounds like he's trying to cast a spell, it's funny because Abraxas was frequently related to magic itself, like magical qualities and whatnot. On top of that, Abraxas out of all these Threnodians would be the perfect one who would consider working with Rover because they are of dual nature, of both light and darkness, life and death, protection and destruction. Abraxas was seen as a deity above deities, a supreme deity, and that would probably be the concept that Abraxas would be focused around, which is life and death. Maybe Abraxas too got sick and tired of these endless cycles of war and infighting and everything else, and they finally decided to work with Rover to get all this just done and over with. But I guess we won't know until we get further into the story. But one thing's for sure, Abby knows more than what he's leading on, and our past self obviously made a pact with Abby in some regard, because even when we got to speak to our past self, they wonder if Abby had awoken yet, or maybe they knew them as Abraxas. Don't know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'll see you in the next one. Love you guys, and bye-bye.